Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? It's Alexander Hilly123 here, and it's time for a new video. And as you can see from the title, today's my Last of Us 2 Hopes, Fears and Expectations video. I did this for the Resident Evil 3 remake a few weeks ago, and now here I am doing it for the Last of Us 2. This isn't something that's going to be repeated that often on the channel, it's just that I'm really excited about both of these games. So, this video I should say, is going to contain spoilers for the end of the first Last of Us game. Should be pretty damn obvious to you guys. And, like this title suggests, my hopes, fears and expectations for the sequel, which may well be coming in late 2019, although for me, I'm going to say June 2020. Still over a fucking year to go, but we'll see, who knows. To be surprised, because they know that this game is going to sell like hotcakes. They don't need to, say, oh, the game's out in 9 months' time and build it up. They know people are going to buy this game regardless, and that's very exciting because who knows, they could announce it. Imagine if they announced it a month or two before release. You've just not got that long to wait before the game comes out. Pre-order that motherfucker, and I will be very excited. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the very, very long story short. You play as Joel in the first game, he meets Ellie. Why does he meet Ellie? Because he's transporting her across the USA, I can't remember what distance, to the Fireflies so they can experiment on her and find out why she's not being bit. Initially, he doesn't know why he's transporting her. He finds out when he sees the bite on Ellie's arm, and Ellie hasn't turned into an infected, and then that's the reason he's doing it, because they need to find out why she's not been infected. But they build up this incredible relationship. Joel has lost his daughter at the start of the game, definitely one of the most emotionally effective cutscenes in a video game. My lord, there are many. The one with Sam and Henry being my favourite, or the most impactful, because holy shit, it was just like really, really genuinely fantastically well done, incredibly dark as well. But yeah, so whilst this surgery is being done on Ellie, as they're trying to find out why she hasn't turned, and basically she will die during the process of it, is seemingly what the game is suggesting. Joel saves her. He comes in, kills these surgeons, kills the leader of the Fireflies, Marlene, and then does a runner. And we see after the game, the events of the game, probably the day after I'm guessing, Joel tells Ellie that there was no cure and that they're just going to go out on the road, and unfortunately mankind can't be saved. So, that leaves us to ask, will Ellie find out that Joel has been lying to her, and are Joel and Ellie going to be hunted for what they've done in the first game? And it's going to be interesting because the events of the second game take place apparently, I think, 5 years after the first game. So Ellie's going to be 19 when she was 14 in the first game, and I think Joel's going to be in his early to mid 50s when he was in his late 40s-ish in the first game. So that's quite a long amount of time. There's no way that Ellie hasn't thought, was he lying? Or maybe she just bought it and she still believes that. Either way, I can't see them being hunted 5 years down the line. I just think we're going to see a new cast of characters. Are the Fireflies even going to still be a thing? I'm not sure, but what I am sure of is that Naughty Dog will tell the story in a really good way. The voice acting, the characters and all that side of things was absolutely fantastic in the first game, and it's something that I'm invested in, and I think it's good in 2019 to be invested in a narrative and a strong story, a linear game, but still love the gameplay. It's my favourite kind of games, and it's what I still love in 2019. And I'm so passionate about this game because these kind of games don't sell very well anymore overall, but somehow this game did. And I think mainly it is due to the characters and the story, and it is a video game, but I love the gameplay because it has survival horror elements, and it's a post-apocalyptic world as well, and all those kind of things I really enjoy. But I think the pacing of the game is really good, and I think the gameplay is pretty good as well. It's not reinventing the wheel of video games, and I don't think the second game will do that either, but it's good. I like it. But gameplay-wise, I think they're just going to tweak the formula. Like I say, across the board, I just think they're going to attempt to do what the first game did, but make it just as good, if not even better. They're definitely going to struggle in ways because the element of surprise isn't there, but maybe a few new weapons, a few new mechanics would be good. It's a post-apocalyptic world, so we're not going to be getting machine guns with hundreds of bullets in it, things like that, but I love games where you've only got a few bullets and you've got to scrounge up ammo to survive. I'd like to see new melee weapons. The melee is very satisfying in the first game, you know, curb stomping motherfuckers and bricking someone in the face, hitting them with a baseball bat. There's so much weight to that mechanic as well. It's absolutely furious. I love it. You know, the 2x4 with the nails in and everything, ripping them out of the skull. It's fun for all the family. It's going to be very... Yeah, my inbred thumbs there, ladies and gentlemen. Look at those. It's going to be very, very violent, no doubt. It's going to be very, very dark, compelling, and I'm very excited. I'm sure there'll be some people who'll say that it can't help but be a disappointment after the first game, but I don't buy that. I've got to be pessimistic. I've got to be optimistic and say that the game will still be good. Now, I'm not sure, but I think the game, let's find out here, is coming out on the PS4. Oh, good. I'm on Games Radar, but they want me to block or stop my ad block. This is absolutely unbelievable. How dare they? Anyway, here we go. The Last of Us 2, Sony remains committed to the PS4 support for current gen. So it seems to be that it'll be PS4, but you damn well know they're going to pull the same trick and probably release it with enhanced graphics and some shit like that the next year on PS5. And who'll be stupid enough to buy it again? This motherfucker. That's right. But it's interesting because I never played the game on the PS3. My introduction was the remastered version on the PS4. And I have since bought the PS3 version, but my god, when you get used to how good the remastered version looks, it's hard to play the PS3 version. I've not actually completed it. I should do just for the trophies and stuff, all the collectibles. But yeah, so to sum up, not much I can say really. Tweak the formula, new mechanics here and there, new upgrade system perhaps, make the melee even better and more satisfying. We're going to be playing as Ellie, I think, for the most part of this game. Don't know if I said that at the start, but we definitely are. It's pretty damn obvious. I think we'll play as Joel for a little part of the game, like we did as Ellie in the first game. And will Joel survive to see the end of this second game, ladies and gentlemen? I am not sure. Is there going to be any sequel bait at the end of it? Sequel baits in video games, at the end of these games, it's enticing and fun and like, oh, exciting. But at the same time, it's disappointing because 3 or 4 years down the line, there's more games. This game even longer. You know, Last of Us 1 was 2013. It's 2019 now. It's a long time to wait. It's going to be not an entirely different team, but it's going to be a new group of people, a new director perhaps working on it, new technology, and it may well come to pass that it's just not what it should be, and it might be a dud, you know, the game. And after waiting so long, it's such a disappointment because back in the old days, you only had to wait a year or two, but now it can be a lot longer. Who knows? Also, got to be said that Mr. Neil Druckmann is at the helm. I think this is going to be his baby, this game. It was Bruce Straley, the main man, who made the first game, and he helped out on the first 3 Uncharted games, I think, as did Amy Hennig. She's now left. There's a brilliant article of Amy Hennig I've just recently seen where she's criticising open world, not so much open world games, but these games that take like hundreds of hours to complete, and not just RPGs, which have always taken that amount of time, but like story-based games. And I tell you, preach it, sister, because I'm all behind her. I tell you, it was a brilliant article. I thought about doing an actual individual video on it. Maybe I will in the future, but I've already done a video on Save Linear Games, hashtag. No one fucking watched it because everybody's too busy playing Fortnite. But that's true. These kind of games don't sell very well, and The Last of Us is different because it was so popular. And I think it, to be fair, it was so popular because of the characters and not the gameplay and the game world. But yet and still, it's great to see a game like this do well. Remedy have a new game called Control coming out in August. That's on the back of Quantum Break being... It wasn't a flop, but it didn't do that well. People didn't like it. Guess what? I did. I just love story-based games that have gameplay. Linear games that have gameplay. We saw so many of them in the PS3 360 era, but in this generation of gaming, we have seen a heck of a, lot less of them. What way around that is there? Do we make those games cheaper, or for the consumer? But are they cheaper to make? Not necessarily. So it's a really interesting conundrum. But what I'm saying here is The Last of Us 2 going to be semi-open world? Is it going to be more vast and bigger? I really hope not, because the element of claustrophobia and tension comes from these enemies being very close to you, you not having much ammo. It's the survival horror aspect of the game, and it's something that I really enjoy. And when you make something semi-open world, you really take that away. I think it will be bigger, and I think there will be elements of the game that are semi-open. I really hope not, though. But I'm going off on a tangent here. I was going to talk about Neil Druckmann specifically because he is very big on his social justice. I can see on here, on the Wikipedia page, LGBT, people of colour, all this. I mean, hey, listen, it's a video game at the end of the day. I want to stay out of the things like that. But I think that Druckmann seems like a social justice warrior. At the end of the day, we've seen non-white characters in video games before. Why does it need to be a big issue? It really doesn't. But I do think that he kind of shoes them in and just puts characters there for no reason, just because, you know, for example, Ellie is now a lesbian. I don't know. People play video games, listen to music, and explore different art forms like this to get away from things like that, you know, the politics of life, and not just politics, but things like that, you know. I don't know. It's not my place to really talk about. If there's a lesbian character in a video game, does it necessarily mean that social justice warriors are behind it all? No, but people can see a trend of gamers being told what to do, and I think that's the reason that people don't like these kind of things. It's not because they hate gay people or lesbians or people of different races. It's because they're being told, you are this way, you're a bigot, you're this and that, and they don't like that, because most people are not. Most gamers are not. Of course, there are despicable people like that in the world, but they are not in the majority, and hopefully they never will be. There we go, that's enough about that. But yeah, to sum it up, ladies and gentlemen, tweak the gameplay, please keep it linear, the game's going to look beautiful, the characters are going to be good. Will Joel survive? It's going to be a game that I really am on edge with the story, and I'm on edge with the gameplay. And it's these kind of games that make me love gaming. Still in 2019, even though I don't think gaming is as good as it used to be. But hopefully, fingers crossed, as I make this on the 24th of May 2019, we'll get a 2009 release date. But like I said before, I think June 2020. But thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.